What's going on, you guys? It's Hiram here. Today I'm going to be providing an update regarding my real estate investment strategy because, as many of you guys know, my strategy was to rent out the home that I'm living in, move out, find a fixer-upper, fix it up, and then repeat the process. And many of you guys know that I've been trying to refinance my current home in order to be able to do all of this. And you also know that as I've been trying to refinance my home twice, both times I've been denied. And so it's just kind of put me in a place where I felt like I was stuck. It's been very emotional and frustrating, but a couple of things have happened in the past week. So I want to provide that update with you guys right now. All right, so in order for me to provide as much value to you guys, I'm going to have to share a story with you that kind of backtracks a little bit. It backtracks to before my refinance loan was denied. A month ago, I see a house for sale in my neighborhood and it's being sold as is. Okay, this house is a fixer-upper. You can tell just by looking at it from the outside that it's got things wrong with it. And I saw it for sale for a couple months and nothing happened. And so I decided to do something that many investors suggest that you don't do, and that is to contact the seller and to get interested in the property, especially when you haven't even been pre-approved, and especially in my case when I was still under a refinance for my current home. So I decided to contact the seller, and I was just inquiring the list price that she had put, and she told me that she was selling it for $152,500 as is. And I was just kind of taken back by that, because I had bought my home for $130,000, and that one is basically the same type of home, and it's a fixer-upper. Mine's already, fixed up quite a bit. So I was taken back by that, but the fact that the homes have recently been selling for $165,000, it did make a little bit of sense to me. It's not, I don't feel like it's that overpriced. I feel like it is still under market value. Now, as I spoke with her, she told me that nobody was really interested in buying it as is, and so she was going to go ahead and fix it up and then sell it at market value at $165,000. But then she asked me if I was interested, and I told her my current situation, that I'm still under a refinance or going through a refinance on my home, and I wasn't really in a position to buy it right then and there, but I was interested. And so she kind of asked what price was I aiming for on that home, and without any previous negotiating experience and without an agent, I pretty much put an offer. And so that's kind of scary looking back at it, but I feel pretty confident in the numbers, and I feel pretty confident because I have learned a lot, especially the real estate in my area. So I eventually talked her down from $152,500 to $149,000. Now, I'm not patting myself on the back or trying to brag, because actually I feel like that's not even too much of a difference, in the price. But I was able to talk her down some, and I feel comfortable with $149,000 on the purchase of that home. So that was about a month ago, right? And when my refinance fell through, I was super bummed because now I didn't know if I was gonna go ahead and move on with purchasing the next home. So instead of sitting down and moping and crying, I just started thinking about different ways that I can maybe acquire that house still without having to refinance my house. So as I contacted other lenders, I reviewed my options, and yes, it's possible to go ahead and continue with the purchase of that house without refinancing my own, because the plan all along was to pay a very small down payment on my next house. And I thought that the only way to do that was to get into another home with an FHA loan. And again, you can't have two FHA loans at a time. So the FHA loan that I have current on my house right now would have to be moved out into a conventional. But I was able to find out that I can get into a conventional loan and still pay a very low down payment. So I wouldn't even need an FHA. And so I spoke with this lender, and she told me that I qualify for a 5% down payment on a conventional loan. And it just opened new doors for me, because I always thought that for a conventional loan, you had to pay 20% down. And that's not the case anymore. You can pay even as little as 3.5% down as well. And the criteria for that is basically if you're a first-time home buyer and you make a certain amount of money and you don't exceed that amount of money, then you qualify for a 3.5% down payment on a conventional loan. And I thought that that was pretty cool. Now, you are going to have to pay private mortgage insurance if you're going to pay anything less than 20% down on a home. So even though I'm getting a conventional loan for 5% down, I am still going to have private mortgage insurance. So I want to make sure that you guys know that. But that's something that I didn't know and that I hope you guys find value in. And make sure that you talk with a lender if you're thinking about doing something like this, and really review all the options that are out there for you. Now, after speaking with the lender about that specific home, she started pulling the taxes and running all the numbers. And I thought that that was a super cool thing to do as well, because I always felt that like I had to take it upon myself to run the numbers and to see if it was going to be a property that was going to be worth it. But the lender's going to do that for you as well, because they got to see if you qualify anyway. So they're going to pull the property taxes. They're going to find out how much it costs to have insurance on it. They're going to find out how much you're going to have to pay down. They're going to find out all of that for you, and then they can give it to you in a form of an estimate. So that's what I got. I got an estimate for the home, and the numbers are looking great right now if I purchase it at $149,000. So I feel like those numbers are going to work, because if I buy it at $149,000, 5% of that is about $7,000 and some change. So I can control that amount of money, $149,000, with only $7,000 and some change. And the interest rate, according to the estimate, is going to be at a 3.5%, which is also really low. So all in all, right now, the numbers are looking great. And so all of that is happening right now. I had spoken with the seller about a month ago. I had told her to wait on me, and then my refinance did not go through. And I was super bummed and sad and frustrated and all of that. But then I was able to find this option, and now I can move forward with the seller. So I contacted the seller, and it turns out she's a real estate agent and an investor. And as I spoke with her a couple days ago, she told me that she's not really willing to cooperate with another real estate agent. So an agent to represent me is out of the picture here. It's out of the question. And I'm just going to have to kind of rely on her, because she basically said that she can draw up the contract, because she's an agent, and then send it over to me, look it over, and as soon as I think that it's okay and give the okay, I'll go ahead and send that contract over to my lender, and then they'll look it over, and we'll go ahead and continue with purchasing that property. But really, guys, I'm just so excited, because I finally feel like I can get that second property that I've been wanting to, that me and my wife have been wanting to for the past year now. It's just something that I constantly think about, and I feel like I'm ready for. Again, I don't have any previous experience with real estate. I'm not an agent. This is my first time being an investor. I'm not a lender, and I'm just a regular Mexican-American W-2 employee, all right? And so I wanna share my whole journey with you guys, real time, as it happens. I wanna share everything with you. Some of the next videos to look forward to are going to be videos that are going to touch on how to get my current property rent ready, and then also how to renovate a fixer-upper and bring it up to market value and not overspend on that project. So those are the videos to look forward to from me. That's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I hope you find all of this valuable, and I really appreciate all the comments that are supporting me and cheering me on. That feels really, really great, you guys, because sometimes it does get frustrating. I mean, it's not easy trying to call lenders and spending time on hold and trying to figure things out. It's not as easy as it seems. And that's why I want to share all this with you guys, so that hopefully you guys don't make the same mistake, and so that you know that I'm on the same boat with you. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.